Herman. Great to have you on the podcast. How are you today?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me, Jared.
Really excited to start chatting. I believe I first got connected with Bluevine through one of your colleagues was at FinTech Meetup, and my buddy Yuval was walking by with them and is like, you have to get Bluevine on the show." And then it all came together after that. So really excited to have you here. Let's assume there's people out there that are just meeting you for the first time and are just getting to know Bluevine. Give us the quick overview of your background and then a quick company overview, and then we'll dive in.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bluevine is a small business banking platform, and we build a small business banking service for our customers. And so, for all intents and purposes, the customers bank with Bluevine. We aren't a bank; we're a fintech, but we offer a whole bunch of products there for our customers, including our business checking account, which is at the core and the center of our relationship with them. We offer credit products and line of credit, as well as credit cards, an AP solution, and we're about to roll out other line of business solutions as well. And so stay tuned for that. I'm the chief product officer here at Bluevine, and I've been here roughly about 6 years. And I run our product and our design teams here, product execution, product strategy, everything across the board.
So I've been having more product focused conversations in recent episodes, and this really excites me to have you here because I'd love to kind of like everyone that deals in product kind of has a different lens to how they address, feature requests and things like that. Would love to hear kind of first. I'm sure you get lots of feature requests, lots of feedback. How do you decide what gets added to roadmap and what maybe just gets shelved because there's some interest, but not enough to actually move the needle?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think ultimately it boils down to the framework and how you want to go think about your bets. I think at a very high level, you think about percentages. In terms of your business, as I'd mentioned, Bluevine has a number of different businesses from the business checking account to our credit products to AP into new products that we want to invest in. What is the percentage bet that you actually want to put in each specific area? And how does that ladder up to your end goal and your 5 year plan? And so at Bluevine, we have all of that. We have a 5 year strategy that we want to execute against. Our 1 year plan ladders up to that 5 year, goal and destination to where we want to be to. And so as we're building things per quarter, we do a quarterly planning process. We reevaluate the investments in each particular area to make sure that it ladders up. At a more micro level, we use a derivative of like the rice framework where we think about reach, impact, confidence of our investment and the engineering effort to come up with some sort of numerical quantitative estimate that'll give us a better direction for where we want to go invest.
For let's just assume I would love an example of someone first time using Bluevine. What is I know there's like different use cases, but like just give me the most typical use case, what that looks like for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So when they come to Bluevine, they're looking for a small business checking account generally. And so they'll come in through Bluevine and they will sign up for a business checking account. The question then is, why would they come to Bluevine versus, say, a brick and mortar bank like Wells or Chase or Bank of America that is more well known? And the reason why is because we're focused entirely on small businesses and we're built on a modern platform that allows a fully digital experience. They can actually sign up and open up a bank account in minutes as opposed to taking days to go do that and multiple trips back and forth. Our platform is custom built for small businesses. And so we have the complexity to go scale with the small business. But at the same time, we're not shoehorning them into one solution or another. When they go into a brick and mortar bank, typically those banks have a solution that is either for commercial or for the end user. And they try to make the small business fit one of the two molds. And the reality is that small businesses are all different and they all want different things. And so they need a platform that's bespoke for them. And that's what we've built, a platform that is for them.
So what are some of the obviously small business use case definitely different than these large corporations. So let's do a fictional example and kind of go through something. And also, like what else they end up getting for joining. Let's say someone decides they're going to start the world's best ice cream. An ice cream it's going to become this massive ice cream franchise, right? But they're starting out with location one. They have everything. They already like let's say they already filed to be an LLC or a C corp, whatever they would decided to be. They
Mhm.
sign up, they get their checking account, they obviously fund the account, and then what else will they have access to kind of over that life cycle of that business as they're trying to grow?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, they would sign up with Bluevine. Immediately, they'll get access to their debit card. We have both physical and virtual debit cards that can be provisioned. They can invite all their users, all the employees or authorized users or accountants to the account as well. So they can go manage everything as a team on Bluevine. They can then connect to their QuickBooks if they have that for their accounting ledger and to be able to go sync transactions back and forth. So they have access to that. We allow that, and we believe that that's pretty much table stakes. I think the one thing that we're really good with as well is that we allow them to customize their workflows, for example, on payments. So if they want to go do bill pay out of the box and as part of Bluevine for free, they have access to our AP platform, which allows them to go upload bills, for example, or forward them from email, and we can go OCR those bills into the system and they're ready for payment. And so they could issue a payment, they could issue a recurring payment, they could actually have workflow where they have a clerk that actually reviews and enters in payments, and then it goes through an approval process for either the business owner or an accountant or bookkeeper to go do. We have a whole bunch of customary controls as well. So they could go set up fraud controls where there's ACH positive pay, as an example. They could go blacklist people that they do not want to have debit access to an account if it gets frauded, as an example. So we have a whole plethora of capabilities on our platform, and they're able to go customize it and do whatever they want. Now, part of what makes Bluevine really unique is that we offer a whole set of products, right? Not just a business checking account. I would argue actually Bluevine is the only fintech, small business fintech that actually has done lending at scale. We've been doing, in fact, Bluevine started with lending. And so, and we've been doing this for 10 years on the lending side. And so, what's unique about us is we've actually gone through, our models have gone through multiple recession points, and is tried and tested. And so, we actually can originate line of credit to these customers. We could issue credit cards as well. And so, by a customer coming to Bluevine, they're not only getting a business checking account, but they're actually getting all their financial needs met through our one platform.
When we think of the economy, we kind of tend to always talk about the large corporations when we're spotlighting what does the economy look like right now. But really, you want to take a look at the small businesses and see how are small businesses doing. Big corporations, sure, but I feel like a really good indicator of where things are heading or how things are doing is when you look at these small businesses across, specifically across the U.S. Would love your take. Obviously, you work with a lot of these companies. You know, how are they doing right now? What are some of the other things? I mean, I'm sure you still have lots of interactions and you hear from these companies. What are you hearing right now as it relates to kind of where these small businesses are at, how they're doing? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've actually, like I think the underlying sentiment in terms of how the economy is doing, what's going to be coming next, nobody really knows at this point. I think we're hopeful, obviously, with the economy, but we definitively don't know. And I think the small businesses are very much the same way. That said, what we've seen actually is through the beginning of this year, there's been a lot of appetite to open up new business checking accounts. I think what we've seen is a number of small businesses realize that given the economy and given where they are today, it's important to find a business banking relationship with a provider that has their best interest in mind. That one that has limited fees, one that can go scale with them. And so we've seen actually a very high number of signups on Bluevine and more engagement and more primacy around the account. So that's what we've seen. As we've talked to small businesses of course, some are very opportunistic, maybe is the best way to say it, and some are worried about what lies ahead. So we really don't know at this point, but the numbers that we've seen quantitatively suggest that from a Bluevine platform perspective, we've actually seen a huge uptick.
What's next for Bluevine? Obviously, that really excites you. If you could only pick one thing.
Yeah. So we're actually in beta with a product that we're really excited about. I think our customers have been asking for this. They want a one-stop shop, if you will, around a banking provider to provide all of their services. And so can't really talk about that right now. We're in beta, but more to come in the next few weeks. But if I take a step back and level up, I think the most important thing for me is I think when you have a banking relationship with these small businesses, it affords you to be able to go do so much with them. And for me, the excitement there is to provide other services that sit on top of Bluevine and to provide them in such a differentiated way where money movement, for example, becomes just instantaneous, where we could do things around payroll as an example, because we control the ledger to de-risk anything that goes across the board. So for me, it's the integrated opportunity around the singular platform that gets me really excited. And the way that I think about it is Bluevine can be that financial OS for small businesses. And, our goal is to get there. And I think we've taken meaningful steps so far to be able to make that true.
I would like to hear a little story from you as we get towards the end of this episode. What's a product story at Bluevine that you can laugh about now, but when it happened, you kind of wanted to cry?
So that's a really good one. Let me think about this for a second. I mean, I could think back at just in terms of the the dependency and the build and the leverage of partners. I think when I think about it, we had taken a bet previously on a partner that obviously we felt really good about. And as we invested in that partnership, things were going well. And then there were some flags that started surfacing. And of course, looking back on it, there were more flags that could have surfaced sooner, and we didn't take action on it. So looking back on it, I wish we had taken that action sooner. But now that I can laugh about it because it's been a while, but at the time it was quite nerve-wracking. So, if I could rewrite history, perhaps that's one that I would definitely rewrite.
It's my favorite question to ask because usually people's faces, there's always like a long smile and you see the gears turning because there's never just one, right? There's lots, and it's just okay.
There's
One
a
first thought,
million. Yes.
what can I say on the show? So yeah, that's really cool. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us here today, telling us more about Bluevine and what's next. And it sounds like there's a lot of exciting things coming down the road. Really glad that we were able to chat and look forward to future conversations.
Great. Thanks so much, Jared, for having me.